In this video, I'm going to show you a very early prototype that starts to explore some of the user interactions with a system that we're so far calling Breadboard. The basic premise is that we have a context into which we can bring independently developed widgets which can interoperate. What I have down here in the bottom corner are not user-facing features. These are going to allow me to change the rules of the system as we go through this early demo. So I'm going to drop a map widget onto the board. It's centered in on Denver. The map widget donates its location to the broader context. So if I open a weather widget, even though these two widgets know nothing about one another, the weather widget is going to pick up on the Denver location and show us the weather in Denver. If I were to change the location on this map widget, then the weather widget is going to pick up on that update from the broader context. But let's say I wanted to compare the weather among two separate locations. If I introduce another weather widget, it's just going to show us the same location as the first. And if I introduce another map widget, when I change its location and it donates its location to the broader context, that's going to cause both weather widgets to update. So instead, I can make them spatially aware. So what happens now is each of these map widgets, when they donate their geographical coordinates to the broader context, they donate them at their location on the board. So when the weather widget goes out and looks for a location to show the weather it's going to find the geographical coordinates that are nearest it on the board itself. So now I can start to visualize see some of the things I want to see simply by arranging the widgets in a certain way on the board. The next thing I can do is reduce the radius at which any of these widgets see information from the broader context. If I make it low, 0, or negative, let's say if it's a negative number, then these widgets have to somewhat overlap in order to receive each other's updates. So that leads to a pretty a set of interesting interactions where if I take this weather widget and bump it into the map widget, it picks up on the location. And if I bring this weather widget over here, it stays put. It does not change its location as this map changes its. If I did want this weather widget to stay in sync with the map widget, I could leave them touching by a little bit. And so now whenever I move this map widget around, the weather widget will update. But let's say I had another widget that was based on location of some kind, and I had it here. It's not updating its location with this map since it doesn't touch the map at all. So I can enable group contexts, and now the widgets know that since these are all in range of one another, they all stay in sync within kind of one grouping of context. So now as I change the location on this map, the change waterfalls out to all of the other widgets within its group. So this prototype so far plays with allowing the user to see the things they want to see within these disparate sort of widget views. The next thing that we would want to play with is how can a widget donate an item view, an overlay to another widget. So for example, how could this weather widget donate an overlay to the map so we can visualize the weather on the map as we move it around? And of course, if we did that, we would want some way to be able to, say collapse this widget or like drag it into the map widget and have it pinned in the map widget so that we don't have this redundant view maybe, but we can still see what is contributing to the visualization provided in the map widget. So again, this is a very early prototype, and so we're just starting to play with some of the user interactions possible, and kind of what the modeling language is here with these widgets. So hopefully we'll have some more demos as we keep progressing some of this thinking.